and welcome. This is the first day of the postpartum Reconnect program where we really spend some time reconnecting all parts of the core, reconnecting yourself to your body that has gone through so many changes the past 9 months and then now birth and the couple of weeks after. So I hope that everything is going well, you're adjusting well, and just soaking up this precious newborn time. In today's class, we're going to review the diaphragmatic connection breath, as well as I'll introduce a couple of core moves. And they won't be quite like the ab moves that you're used to doing in the fitness world. This is very breath-based and kind of gentle movement-based to help heal any DR that is maybe happening or any other kind of weakness and imbalances going on in the core. So we'll do a couple of those moves and then we'll end with some stretching of the shoulders and chest because if you're breastfeeding or even bottle feeding at all, you've got a lot of this kind of hunched over action going. So we want to open that up. So that is what you can expect from this class today, and then each week it will build on this routine and you can do it as often as you want. Break it up, pause, come back. I know that it can be hard to find large chunks of time to do things in. So to begin, we'll have a seat, or you can lie down if that's more comfortable to you, and we'll do just a couple rounds of the connection breath. So from a seated, or again, you can lay down on your back. We'll be doing moves from our back next. So if you prefer to be in that position, go ahead. And I like to have either a hand on my chest or my rib, and then the other hand on my low belly to kind of serve as feedback to make sure that I'm expanding as much as I can. So on our inhales, we really want the lower belly to expand out, the ribs to expand out, because we're filling up with so much air that we physically expand. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Everything kind of sinks back down. We're going to do this 5 or 6 more times. As I talk, you just keep breathing. And remember too, we want to think about relaxing through the pelvic floor as we inhale, because we're expanding and kind of creating pressure down there, so we need to relax it to allow it to expand. And exhale, it tones and tightens back up to its position. Inhale, relax, and then exhale, kind of pull it back up into the pelvis if you want to envision that. One more time. Just take a moment to pause here and return to kind of a subconscious breath. And let's think about an intention to set for your class today. Maybe it's just to move with care and kindness for your body. Maybe it's to really focus on reconnecting your mind to this new body as a mother that you have. Whatever you need the intention to be, it can just be space for yourself today. Just claim it, set it for this class so that you can come back to it if you need to. We're going to roll onto our backs next. And we'll continue to use that connection breath as we move now. So let's keep one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. And as you learn these core moves, you can do any of them isolated throughout the day. So they don't have to be done together. There's no magic in the order that they're presented within this class. There is over the progression of the series. But today, if it's, like I said, if it's more manageable for you to do one of these at a time throughout your day, that is completely fine. So the next move we'll do is pelvic tilts. And we're going to inhale and expand, which will cause your low back to lift up off of the ground a little bit more as you kind of turn your tail up in the back. And then on your exhale, the belly button's going to pull down towards the ground. You're reducing this space underneath you as you tuck your tail between your legs. Then we inhale to release, arch through the back a little bit here, and then exhale to pull back down. Inhale, release. Remember to kind of relax through your pelvic floor. Exhale, pull back down. And just continue to do this, moving with your breath and as far as feels comfortable through that range of motion. So when you exhale and pull your back down to the ground, you're going to run out of room to kind of tuck it down to the ground. But on your inhale, you can really go as far as feels comfortable to your low back. Let's do 3 more rounds. Inhale, belly expands, and then exhale. You can feel your core get tight underneath you. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Okay, now the trick here we're moving into a new move called dead bugs. We want to keep this end position of the exhale even when we inhale now. So we're no longer doing pelvic tilts. So take a deep breath in while you keep your back pressed into the mat. Your tail is tucked and your belly's pressing down, but we're going to take a deep breath in. See how that feels different? So there's not quite as much expansion as we maintain this core pressure, which that phrase I will say a lot. But this is kind of the feeling that I want you to have, this tailbone tucked under, spine pressing into the ground, strong core here. So if you poked yourself all around, you would kind of feel activation all around your core. So from here, we're holding that position, but we're not holding our breaths. We're going to lift our knees up over our hips. Bring your feet in towards one another and your knees out and your arms over your chest. Take a couple of deep breaths here like this. Remember, we're trying not to relax the core to release the spine. And so this breath work should feel a lot more challenging than the connection breath. So we're no longer quite in connection breath, but we are still breathing deep into the belly. You can take a rest at any time. We'll do 1 more round of breath. And then let's exhale, let everything rest. You can release your back off of the mat. So we're gonna do a couple of movement things from that dead bug position. So when you're ready, let's get set back up. Inhale to pelvic tilt here, and then exhale to tuck everything back down. Hold this position, hold that pressure in the work through the core as you bring your arms and legs back up. Now take a couple rounds of breath just for practice so that you're not holding your breath, but we are keeping our low backs flat. And now we're going to start moving 1 arm at a time. We'll do 5 on each side to tap the floor overhead. Trying to stay as still as you possibly can through the torso and the legs. So this may not feel too super challenging, except that you're having to maintain that core pressure and keep your legs up. It'll get harder as we go. Keep breathing deep. 1 more on each side. Take a rest if you need to, anytime. If you're ready to move on, we're going to do just the legs now, and this is the one that's going to be really tricky. So we're going to drop 1 leg at a time and lift it back up. You do not have to touch the floor. In fact, I want you to lift the leg back up as soon as you start to feel any kind of compromise between the back and the floor. So if those hips start to raise up off of the floor, you bring that leg back up. Shaking is okay. You can see me doing it a little bit. We're going to do 5 on each side again. So I think that was 3 for me. So you can see I'm going down just barely about to halfway. So you definitely don't have to tap the foot all the way to the floor. 1 more on each side. And rest. Take a couple deep breaths. Then we have one more dead bug move to set up for, where we're going to do opposite arm and leg together. So if you just completed the leg section and it felt hard enough, then don't do this. If you're ready to progress on, we'll do 5 on each side, moving, you hear my voice shake, moving opposite arm and leg. So really slowly, don't forget to breathe. Shaky, shaky. Working hard to keep your back flat to the ground as you reach. And again, don't compromise range of motion as a substitute for integrity through your back. I think I've got one more on this leg. And rest down. So you should feel quite a bit of work going on just to hold you stable through the center there. And we haven't done any crunches, so still feel the core working. All right, we're going to move on to the next move, which is a bridge pose. If you have done yoga, this is a little bit different than what our goal is for a yoga bridge. So we're not trying to open the chest quite as much as we are in yoga. We're really focusing on low core strength as well as the glutes. So we'll do 10 of these, but as a quick setup, I'm going to walk us through the form. We're starting with a pelvic tilt again. So take a big inhale, let the belly stretch and expand, and then exhale, tuck your spine back down to the ground. And once you're kind of at your flattest possible, hold your core position. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, press yourself up to the top of the bridge. Inhale. And exhale, lower yourself back down. So we're going to take this slowly. We'll do 9 more times. You don't have to reset the pelvic tilt every time. So once you've got your back locked and loaded here, inhale. Exhale, press up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, lower down. So you can hear the tension in my voice, and that's from holding my core pressure down there. If I release it, then the tension goes away. So you do want to kind of feel that tension through your core and your diaphragm. We'll tuck the back down. Inhale here on the floor. Exhale to press up. Think about squeezing your glutes at the top. Inhale while you're holding here. And exhale, come back down. Again, inhale here. Exhale, press up. Inhale at the top to hold. Squeeze the glutes. And exhale, lower down. 5 more, I think. Inhale. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, lower. 3 to go. Inhale. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, lower. You can keep your hands on your belly for that feedback. Inhale here. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, down. Very good. Hug your knees to your chest. Little rock side to side. We're going to move on to our last core move of the day. And to get there, we're going to roll over to either side and then press ourselves up and come around to a tabletop position. So this is very similar to what we just did on our backs, except that we are kind of flipped over into a hands and knees position. So the opposite of pelvic tilt is a cat and a cow. So we'll inhale, drop your belly down, and you can kind of imagine this flipped over. It's what we did for the pelvic tilt on our back. And then as you exhale, you're going to pull your belly button up, tuck your tail between your legs, let your head drop between your arms, and then inhale, come back down. And exhale, back up. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, 1 more, and exhale. This time we'll inhale to a neutral spine, and I want you to think about, just like we did on our back side, as we exhale, things kind of get pulled tight here, so we're going to hold our pressure here without holding our breath. So it's like we're trying to press up further through our back side, our belly button's pulling up towards our spine, but we're not holding our breath, we're taking deep breaths. And so we're going to do just the opposite of what we did on our back, starting with our arms. 1 arm at a time reaches up and forward, and you're trying not to shift side to side at all. Again, the arms will probably feel a little bit easier than the legs will, but just reach an arm up, keep your gaze down between your hands, and we'll slowly alternate sides. Stay aware of your core pressure, supporting your spine and your ribs. 1 more on each side. And we'll switch to the legs. So now this one's a little bit harder. I'm gonna scoot forward so I've got room. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hold that pressure there. And now we're gonna reach 1 leg at a time out behind us. And it's on this switch here that you really have to work through your core to keep your hips steady. So right here on the switch, you can see me kind of leaning into that one knee that's down. But once I engage through my core, you can hear it in my voice, right here, there's a lot less movement side to side through the hips. Okay, we're gonna do 5 on each side. And then you guessed it, arms and legs together. So this is called a bird dog, and I see people in my classes do these a lot, and we're constantly working on taking it slow and not kind of arching through the back as you lift the leg. So you want the movement of the leg to come through the glutes and not be because you're lifting your back. Once we've got 5 on each side, we're going to do opposite arm and leg. I don't have a ton of room facing that way, so I'm going to come this way here. So from our tabletop position, kind of don't tuck your tailbone totally between your legs, but there is a very tiny movement through the hips to pull the belly button up to the spine. Take a deep breath in. We're going to alternate sides, opposite arm and leg reaching out and back, and then come back underneath you. Really work here to not shift your weight at all as we reach and down. 5 on each side. Super slow. Don't hold your breath, but do hold your core. Here's 3. 4. This is the last thing that we'll do. 5 each side. And rest. So real quick, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, what I don't want to see, so that you can try to feel if that is what you're doing. Pull my shirt so you can see what my back is doing. So a lot of times what you might see in a speedy bird dog is like a crazy lifting like that, and you get a real big arch through the spine like we go to in cow pose. And that's not what we're looking for. We want to really stabilize through the hips and the pelvis, which is what happens when you go slow and with purpose, and you can feel your whole core working. Okay, so the next part of this class is the stretch series, and we are going to work on opening the shoulders. So let's stand up. I'm going to use a yoga strap for this, but you can grab a broomstick, you can grab a belt or a towel. or you don't really need to have one at all. So up to you. Whoop. We're gonna have a nice base stance. Arms will come out in front of you. And we're just gonna inhale up. Don't go all the way around, just up as far as you can, and then exhale, come back down. Inhale, deep belly breath still, and exhale down. So what I want you to watch for on these inhales is that you're not arching your back and kind of scissoring your ribs and hips away from each other. We want to keep our ribs and our hips working towards each other. 2 more times up. Inhale. Don't arch through your back. Good. Exhale. 1 more. Okay, this time we'll come up and you can move your hands along the broom or the strap, whatever you've got, so that you can get all the way around. And then come back over. We're just going nice and slowly. Notice what you feel in the shoulders as you do this. The closer your hands are together, the harder it will be. So slide them apart if needed, or if you don't feel very much, you can slide them closer together. Okay, this time, keep the left hand pretty stationary. We're going to loop the right arm around, and now the left arm will come around in front. So we're going in one direction in kind of a circle around your body 5 times. You can bend your elbows as you need to help you get around. Soft knees, keep those ribs locked down to the hips. Okay, we'll pause in the front. Now we're going to go the other way. So the right hand will stay put first as the left arm comes around the back or the front, and then the right arm comes around the back. Sweep and sweep. Here's 3, 4. Last time. Okay, 1 more move. Bring the arms up overhead. We're going to keep our torso still, but we're going to just take the arms side to side. Kind of flossing a little bit here through the shoulders. 1 more time to each side. And then rest. I always like to end classes with a little bit of quiet meditation time. It won't take very long, so find the most comfortable position that you can. It can be seated in a chair. It could be laying on your back again. If you have a chair, it could be laying on your back with your feet up on the chair. But find that comfortable position that we can end in. I'm going to walk us through a little guided meditation and breath work to finish, and then I'll see you at the next class. So get as comfortable as you can, whatever position that you're choosing. Start at the top of your head and work your way down to your feet, slowly releasing any tension or kind of stagnant energy that you feel in your body parts. Just let them relax down to the earth. If you need to have a little movement, a couple wiggles to get that relaxation going on, then definitely take it. We'll come back to that connection breath again. So take a deep breath in through the nose, expanding into your belly and your ribs. And then exhale. Let it go. Let's do this 3 more times. Deep breath in, fill up as much as you can. Exhale. Let it go. So remember on the inhales, in through the nose. You're trying to relax through your core and pelvic floor so that belly has room to press outward and your ribs press outward as well as you fill up with air. And then you exhale, let everything collapse. Kind of tighten back up. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And exhale. Release control of the breath now. And I want you to go inside yourself and think of 2 things that you can be specifically grateful for today. They can be people, they can be things, could be a feeling, but just find 2 things and then pick 1 thing about each of those that you can really very specifically appreciate. Next, I want you to picture your baby, if they're not here with you right now, working out, and just shower them with love and happiness like you already are, but picture them in your mind and feel that connection that you have to them for the rest of their lives just because of the connection that you've had for the past 9 months. And think of ways that you can maintain that connection as you both grow. Third, we'll move on to some time and appreciation for yourself. Really take this moment to appreciate everything that you have done, all of the effort that you are putting into raising this human, maybe alongside some other humans. It's not often I feel that moms pause to really give themselves credit. You are doing a fabulous job, and I hope that you appreciate that about yourself. And finally, just end with as much time as you can manage here, quiet and calm on your mat, becoming in tune and appreciative of this new body that you're in. When you're ready to come out, just bring some gentle movement back to your fingers and toes and slowly return to your lives. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next class.